it strikes me that building self-confidence is a big part of this as well. I mentioned that I wanted to dive into something you said earlier. It's a good time to come back to it, that when you were tasked with hiring someone to do this first, administrative role that you ended up doing, you went and said, I can do it better than any of them. Like that it takes real self-confidence, I think, to say that to your boss at the time, right?
I didn't think of it like that, but I guess that's true.
It's another one of those things where it's like, that sounds kind of bold.
Yeah. Well, no, I didn't think of it as bold at that time because I believed that.
Right.
I was a better candidate than that person, and
Yeah.
I knew that I would do a better job. So.
Yeah. But to go and say, I know I'm not supposed to be a candidate. I'm supposed to be the hiring manager, but actually I'm going to be a candidate is, I think that's something that I've learned from you as you've sort of mentored me in the last year, is that in big systems like this, and I think in your case, it's not just in developing into a leadership role, but it's also as, an inventor working in entrepreneurship, and it's with your statewide cardiovascular collaborative, working with other institutions. Whenever you're working in these kinds of contexts, if you don't advocate for yourself and believe in yourself, nothing's just going to be handed to you, because there's very little incentive to act oftentimes unless somebody is really advocating for something. And I definitely didn't feel comfortable with that until recently, of actually saying, oh, well, if I think I can do a good job with something, I need to be making that case. It's not, no one's going to just like make that case for me.
I think people will make the case if you make the case.
Right.
So I think
exactly.
you have to first start with, because there's this, people aren't sure what you want, right?
Right.
And the second thing is, you have to have delivered results.
Yeah.
You can't have the expectation that you are somehow entitled to something, right? So the expectation is based on your track record and your performance when you get that position. And I think as a leader, one of the most important things is accountability.
Mm-hmm.
You have to hold yourself and you have to hold your team accountable, both for the success and the principles. You want to make sure that you don't deviate from your principles, and you make sure that you deliver what you're supposed to deliver.
Yeah.
Now, sometimes your destination will change, and that's okay. Your principles shouldn't change, because if they need to change, that means your principles were wrong in the first place.
Right.
But you should be honest enough to admit and look at that. Then you should always be looking at things: what is ethical, what is moral, and what is your direction? What does success truly mean? Success is not about just being recognized for something. Success is, have you made a meaningful change?
Yep.
Right. And if you focus on that, people will recognize that. But to then get a larger opportunity, you have to be able to make your case, and you should feel comfortable making that case.
I think that's the thing that prevents a lot of people from advancing, and probably connects to the conversation we were just having around diversity and access, and underrepresentation, is that, the confidence to not only do a great job, but then say, we did a great job here and we should have more opportunity, both for teams and but I think especially for individuals. I think, it can be an uncomfortable thing. It has been for me to recognize that everything is collaborative, right? And everything is team-based. And when you're doing the work, you want to focus on being the best team player you can. But then oftentimes, to create opportunities for your team, you have to also talk about yourself as an individual in certain contexts. And I didn't fully understand that. I thought almost they were in conflict until I realized that my team was expecting me to advocate for myself so that we could open up more possibilities for all of them as well. But I didn't understand that, and I think you've really helped me kind of recognize that it's not hubris to speak honestly about the belief about the good work that you're doing, and try to get more support for it.
I think sharing your success is so important.
Yeah.
The team needs to see that, and for your own self, you need to be able to share your success. And other people, like in an organization like the university, we take great pride in the success of others.
Yeah.
I always encourage my colleagues that we need to celebrate success more. We need to celebrate like when a new faculty gets an important paper out, they get an important grant, we need to celebrate that because, and they don't want to share it, although secretly I suspect they would like to share that because they feel embarrassed, right? Everyone is modest. You don't want to.
Right.
And the other thing often that sometimes inhibits people from talking about their successes, they try to put it in context of their mentor's success or somebody else who has a large shadow in the organization.
Yeah.
But remember, you're early in your career. That person was early in their career once too.
Yeah.
So at that time, they did not have as large a footprint as they have now. So we should feel comfortable celebrating success. I think it's very important to celebrate success because we often get too focused on what didn't work out.
Yeah.
When majority of the time, things are working very well and you've made a huge impact.
Right.
We need to celebrate that because that motivates us.
This clip came from a longer episode of the Why Not Me podcast. Find it on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music, or wherever you listen to your podcasts.